Okay, this is the multiplication of fractions, people. The example we have is 4 2/5 times 2 1/4. So step 1 in all fractions, people, we cannot calculate mixed numbers. So step 1 in all fractions is to change the mixed number to improper fractions. Okay? How do we do this? Remember, you multiply clockwise and then add. Okay? Multiply clockwise and then add. So let's see. We have 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2 is 22. That gives you the number. Okay? And 5 is the surnames. Okay, then remember 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5, gives you the number, and 2 is the surname. Now, importantly, in multiplication, people, remember I told you in multiplication everything goes. Okay, maybe some of you remember that I had this whole story in how people, learners in Donatus, multiply, so becoming pregnant and whatever. So everything goes, all right. So here, the basic principle is multiplying top by top and bottom by bottom. But before you do it, you cancel one numerator and one denominator. Importantly, people, you can cancel only a top, okay, with a bottom. And you cancel that with the highest common factor of the two numbers. So if you look at this one, it's really easy because this is 5 and this is 5, people. So we know that we can divide by 5, which gives me a remainder of 1. And we can divide by 5, which gives me a remainder of 1. Remember, I told you to work very neatly when you work, do cancellation. Write your remainders clearly down. Okay. Then you should know that 22 can be divided by 2. Okay, so the highest common factor of 2 and 22 is 2. So you divide this by 2, which gives you a remainder of 1. And you divide that 1 by 2, which gives you a remainder of 11. Okay, if you can't do that in your head, people, you must do the long method, okay? 22 divided by 2. 2 goes into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract, which gives me 0. Bring down the next number. Okay, now you do it again. 2 goes into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract, which gives me a 0. Okay, that's where you get the 11. Okay, then the easiest of all with multiplication is top times top and bottom times bottom. Okay, which means you now multiply 1 times 11 or 11 times 1, which equals 11, and then 1 times 1, which is 1. Okay, and that we can just simply write as a whole number, which is 11. Okay, I repeat, with multiplication, firstly, if mixed numbers are given, change that to an improper fraction. Then remember that here you do not need to find human beings, people. Everything goes, okay? With multiplication, everything goes. Then first try and cancel the numerator with the denominator, people. You can cancel this with this, or that with that, or this numerator with this denominator, or this top with that bottom. But importantly, you may never cancel the two tops and you may never cancel the two bottoms. Okay, that's logical, people, because those need to be multiplied. Okay, so we cannot divide those. All right. Then when you have done your cancellation, then you multiply top by bottom, and you then write your answer, in this case, as a whole number, or if this was an improper fraction, you would also again change that into a mixed number. So multiplication is really easy, people. And I repeat, when you do your multiplication, you must first write out the thought and then do the step. And write out the thought and then do the step. Okay? Write out the thought and then do the step. Okay, that's multiplication. Okay, and lastly, the division of fractions. In this case, we've got 3/4 divided by 1 1/8. So now your brain should already see this, people. This is a mixed number. So remember step 1, change a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay, how do we do it? We go clockwise. First multiply, then add, which gives you the numerator. So 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and the surname remains the same. Okay, this is 3/4. It is a simple fraction, so that remains. Step 1. Now, step 2, people, I told you, when you see a division sign, okay, in all mathematics, your brain must be opened, okay, because division usually has a very different method to calculate, okay. So when we see fractions and we see division, then you must be aware of the division sign, okay. Why? Because now you must just simply learn the rule. The rule is you change the fraction after the division sign to its reciprocal. Okay, what is the reciprocal, people? It is the one standing upside down. Okay, can you remember I drawn the little human that is upside down? So after the division, people, you take that fraction and you change that around. Okay, there is a big but, and the but is you must also change the division into a multiplication. Okay, so this division is changed into a multiplication. All right, so that is the rule for division, which you must just simply remember. You change the division into a multiplication. And remember, I told you, people, that is the only time ever in mathematics where you go and you change the operation sign simply because you want to do that. Okay, and then the but is you must then put the fraction behind on its head. Okay, so you turn it around, which we call the reciprocal. So in this case, we now have 3/4 times 8/9. People, and if you look at this now, this is multiplication of fractions. So now nothing new, people. You simply do the multiplication of fractions. So what is step 1 of the multiplication of fractions? Is we cancel. Okay, and we cancel with highest common factors of one numerator and one denominator, one top and one bottom. So 3 and 4 has no highest common factor, people. 8 and 9 also has no highest common factor, which means we can now look over cross. So 3 and 9, the highest common factor is 3. So divide 3 by 3, which gives you a remainder of 1. Divide 9 by 3, which gives you a remainder of 3. Okay, then you can also look at this top and that bottom, 4 and 8. So the highest common factor of 4 and 8 is 4. So divide 4 by 4, which is 1. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, done with your cancellation. What is the next step then? You multiply top, top, and bottom, bottom. Okay, so there we have 1 times 2, which gives me an answer of 2. And here we have 1 times 3, which gives me an answer of 3. So my answer is 2/3 for that division. So I repeat, firstly, always change your mixed number into improper fraction. Okay. Then, very, very important, people, the rule for division. Okay, you must just simply know this one. You change the fraction after the division to its reciprocal. So, which means you put it on its head. Okay, put the top number at the bottom, put the bottom number at the top. With the big but that the division is now changed into a multiplication. And if you look at that, then people, you simply have multiplication of fractions. So now we go on with the multiplication rules, which means you must cancel one numerator and one denominator, meaning one top number and one bottom number, and you cancel it with a highest common factor. Write your remainders down neatly, and then thereafter you multiply top by top and bottom by bottom, and that gives you an answer. Or if it is a mixed number, an improper fraction, you change it back to a mixed number. Okay, so again, I repeat, people, I want to see this writing. First do the thinking, then do the step. Then do the thinking, then do the step. Then do the thinking, do the step. Okay, do the thinking, then do the step. This is the way I want to see that in your exercise books. And also, please remember, people, from these 3 little videos that I send you, ensure that you got a really good and complete summary in your exercise book. And remember, those are done in color or they are marked in color. Okay, I hope it helps you. And yes, I just want to say one more thing. Remember, if we have 2 or 3 fractions, let's say something like 1/2 plus 3/4 times 3/8, then remember BODMAS, okay? You must always apply the rules of BODMAS. So in this case, the multiplication is done first, and that answer is then added to 1/2. So don't forget BODMAS, also in fractions.